Welcome back. Let's focus on a company which has been a big gainer in 2020. 55% is the sort of gains that we've seen on Somany Ceramics this year. But, this pales in comparison with the sort of move that we've seen after March. From March to now, the stock is up over 300%. And the person who's benefited the most from it, of course, has been the promoter, because they did buy, from the open market at the lows, increase their stake from 51% to around 55%. And we have Abhishek Somany, the MD of the company, with us. Abhishek, your call was right. The best analyst on the street, always the promoter. But now what the street really wants to know is the third quarter. The second quarter, you guys were absolutely flat. The third quarter, are you expecting some sort of growth? If yes, what kind of? And your outlook for the remainder of this year?
Yes, I think one must keep in mind that in second quarter, July was still not 100% up to capacity because of labor issues. If you remember, labor was just kind of coming back from the COVID, when they went home. So July was not at 100% capacity. Even August wasn't. So we've only started running at that capacity from September onwards. And I must say that October, November, and until now, December has also panned out fairly well. Of course, there have been certain hiccups, COVID related at the plant level and also at the market level, where the tier one markets still are under pressure. And if you've seen in the north, we've had certain small hiccups, which is part of the game with the farmer unrest in terms of transportation. So that's been a little bit of a hiccup, but overall, I think quarter three has done well, and we definitely will grow.
Okay, so Q3 will show you growth on a year-on-year basis. What about margins? Will you be able to hold on to the margin expansion that you enjoyed in the prior quarter?
Yes, so a lot of our margins are attributed to capacity utilization. So the economies of scale kick in when we are using mostly all of our capacity. So clearly we would be able to hold on our margin. And hopefully, let's see how the quarter goes. It's still a couple of days left. We should be maybe slightly better than.
Right. You said you will see some growth in the third quarter. Could you quantify how much that would be? Would that be high single digit, mid single digit, low teens, mid teens, and the outlook for the fourth quarter?
So it would be unfair for me to give you any kind of guidance on that, but how it's looking, we have grown reasonably well in October and November, and December again goes well. So it will be a fairly decent growth.
You spoke about a few hiccups like the farmer protests, etc. in the north. What was the impact or the hit to your revenues on account of all these hiccups in this quarter?
Nothing much. I mean, it's already sorting out. The billings had got delayed, so hopefully we should be able to bill all of that in the next couple of days. So I think in India, these are things which are always part of the game. If there's a flood somewhere or there's a cyclone somewhere, it really doesn't bother us. Order flow is very, very positive. Order flow is very robust. So it really doesn't matter whether it gets billed one day or the other.
All right. And the sanitary ware business, you said that you were targeting, near 100% capacity utilization. What does it stand at right now? Your outlook in terms of sales for this year and the next?
Right. So I had mentioned on the earlier call that we would be at 100% capacity utilization from November onwards, which we are. So that's progressed well. And we do believe that we should be able to grow a fair bit on the sanitary ware business this quarter. And as far as the year is concerned, of course, the sanitary ware is a far more labor intensive business. And that got hit far more than tiles did in terms of production. So we did lose more in sanitary ware. So we have a larger catch-up game to play in the next quarter. So we may not be able to show a very large growth year on year. But yes, there would be growth, and I'm very happy the way it is progressing since November onwards. At least we have 100% capacity utilization there also.
Okay, you said that the order book has been very strong. The orders have been flowing in. Could you put some number to it? How would it compare, say, to the same time last year?
So I would give you another analogy. Generally, after a September quarter end, October generally gets a little slower. October was very robust. That was also because Diwali this time was in November. Generally around Diwali, that 1 week we're never at 100% capacity. We generally take maintenance of a couple of lines, which is not a routine maintenance, which is kind of a forced maintenance every year around Diwali. This year was an exception. We were flat out even during Diwali week. So I think that puts things in perspective, that the order flow was fairly decent for us to keep running all our lines at 100% capacity even in that week.
All right, thanks a lot, Abhishek, for joining in. A quick one before we let you go. Are you looking to buy more? You bought it earlier in May, and now you're, what, 300% higher than that?
Right. You asked me this last time also, so
Yeah.
it's our eye is always on the ball, so we'll see.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Abhishek, for that. With that, we'll step into a short break. We'll get you more on the markets. The Nifty is off the highs, but now it's off the lows as well, making a comeback again up around 40 odd points. So we'll get you more on the index and individual stocks on the other side.